actually going to come or not.
Hopefully it sneezes before the 50 seconds are up.
Yeah.
So just hurry up and get it over and done.
I think it's gone, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, we're pretty much into the game now, so that's always
10
fun.
seconds.
No, I think the sneeze is gone. I think talking about it scared it away. I feel like that always happens. Alright, let's switch it over and... you were right! No, not again! Alright, so let's do the real professional intro. So welcome back everyone to game number 4 in the best of 5 series between noodleb0x and Rylo for the Australian Open Group 4. In the first round of the event, we have once again the second round, or the second attempt rather, at the match point here for Rylo after he did fall quite short of my expectations, at least in the previous game. Getting quite severely beaten into the ground by Noodle. So what do we have here, Robo? We have the map that you thought was going to be most likely, Arena.
Arena.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to introduce your girl?
Oh, definitely.
Go nuts,
definitely.
mate.
Okay,
Go nuts.
So we've got Noodle over here in the blue collar playing as the Goth, which is actually quite a nice pick. Considering that Rylo has got
yeah, exactly.
That it is hidden pixiv, so they don't know what the other person picks until the game starts. So it's very counter meta sort of a pick, which I think is quite nice.
Yep.
Otherwise, her map is very, very, very amazing. She's got 3 back golds. She's got a back stone. She's got a second berry bush out the back.
Hex.
And her main stone is still inside her walls, just a little bit to the front. The only real issue for her is her boar is about to be stolen on the outside of her wall.
Yeah, we've seen that Rylo likes to do that. A little bit of a cheeky beaky, but that's totally fine. He needs every advantage he can get, seeing as though he does have definitely a severed disadvantage in this respect.
Oh, and Noodle Scout is actually possibly going to see it. No,
she can't.
Oh my god! If you look at Noodle Scout,
yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
Literally followed the lighter side of the gate on the outside. So
holy hell, that's crazy strong.
Perfectly. Must be map hacks following
Too good from Rylo. We'll take a quick look at Rylo then. So up to the northeastern sort of corner or edge of the map, we have Rylo playing in the red trunks as the Mayans. His map, wow, he's got idle villages. Oh no, this is what you never want to see happen when you're stealing a boar. If it damages your own economy by leaving villages idle because you've misplaced your gather point, for example, then it's just not worth it. Really at all. So he's got 4 idle villages chilling beside his main gold, which is at the back of his base. He does have a stone towards the back as well. Very, very important for the Mayan player, as he's normally wanting to get, flightless, actually emulating what I was saying as well in the spectator chat there. Normally you would want to see plumed archers coming from the castles for the Mayan player. Maybe not the best option against Goths though. He does have a bit of space in the back of his base to boom into, another stone pile and a gold as well. Deer patch inside that little extra spot for him, and another gold pile towards the front of his base, as well as his secondary stone outside his walls as well.
Rylo was housed again on 15. I think that is every game.
Is it really? Oh my goodness.
15 pop.
Oh my gosh, that's not what you want to see from a top expert player like our Kiwi boy Rylo. That's not what you want to see at all. But yeah, so people in the spectator chat, which I'm going to turn off now, unfortunately. Just Gazna level play.
Being ignored.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Well, I mean, you're in the voice chat with me. I feel like
it
doesn't
matter.
Okay, yeah.
Of the peons were sharing this space with us.
No, of course, fair enough.
Ignored by the mighty, pretentious Matty Moon.
Yeah, man. I'm very elitist. Everyone knows that. So yeah, that's a little bit detrimental for him getting housed, as you said. But going for Mayans against Goths, I mean, I've seen a couple of arena games where Mayans have beaten Goths, but they've had to go extremely aggressive to stop the Goth player getting any sort of a substantial boom on, which is interesting because that's as you've mentioned before and as I've mentioned before as well. Noodle really likes to boom. So Arena definitely a strong pick for her if she can defend against any aggression that would be coming in from Rylo, such that she can get the boom going.
Something else that I have to mention is that Rylo's house placement is horrendously bad.
That's not nice at all.
You can't build farms practically at all around that bottom left-hand side of his CC there.
No, you can't.
Like one of them being just squeezed in there on top of the tree.
Yep.
And it's just
pretty
so frustrating seeing that.
It is pretty messy. I mean, obviously he was housed a couple of times, right? So he just wanted to rush up the buggers, but still a little bit unfortunate. You're not wrong. I mean, houses are going to be very, very difficult for him. Sorry, not houses, farms are going to be very difficult for him to place around his town centre. He does have 3 boar. I mean, that's kind of nice, and he's trying to lose one now by the looks of it, give Noodle a bit more of an advantage. Yeah, he's onto it this time. It's totally fine.
The best thing was, though, that if Rylo was the Goth player, he just about would have killed that boar out there.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's why he chose the Civ. Maybe that's why he chose Mayans. He's like, yeah, I'm probably going to screw up a ball lure because I'm going to kill it too early. But yeah, not really sure what's going on here. Noodle moving out to Stone pretty early on in her build order, I would say. Always interesting to see that, but it does give us a very clear indication as to what she wants to do, which is obviously get a castle up and start either using it to produce Huskarls or just as a defensive measure for her base. But I mean, you mentioned at the start, her resources are all fantastically in the back, except for that 1 stone that she is taking. So defensive castle is not really going to help lock down any resources, which is nice for her. So she has a bit more freedom where she wants to place her castle.
To be honest, if I was her, I would build the castle between her TC and her main goal. I know it's really far at the back, but the shape of her walls, like, because she's goth, she can't stonewall behind it.
Yeah.
There's just too many positions that Rylo could come in with petards and barges and basically just run around the castle.
Yeah, of course.
But in that spot, you've got the 2 wood lines sort of creeping together, so it sort of funnels them in there.
Yep.
And you can just try to control that one area.
The one choke point, yeah.
Hope they don't kill your town center.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing though. Even if she does lose that 1 town center, she still does have a little bit of area in the back to boom into, which is quite nice for her. And the same can, of course, be said for Rylo. But I'm almost thinking that Rylo would be wanting to go aggressive, but he's gone up on 26 pop, not moved out to stone yet, from what I can see. So an aggressive castle drop is not on his mind for the time being.
Oh, and something that we forgot to mention, and this is Arena, is the relics.
Yeah, actually. Rylo's got 1 inside his base, right?
So does Noodle. She has 1 in the gate on the north corner.
Yes, she does. Yep, you're right. She does indeed.
But that is an incredible problem, because Goths don't want to delete walls.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You definitely don't want to delete a gate.
No, no, not at all.
So Noodle's kind of buggered by that. She's
a little bit, yeah.
She's not going to take that relic until late Castle Age.
Maybe when she has a little bit more. Yeah, of course.
When she's able to defend herself. And I don't like what she's doing now. She's sending her villagers to build the market.
Oh, yeah.
They were chopping wood, and now they're walking all the way to the front.
Yeah, exactly. And she's only got 2 villagers building a market and the blacksmith. She should be going 2-1.
Oh, no, there is a third one coming.
There is a third one? There. Wait, where is it? Oh, there he is. Is that him there? I imagine it is. But that's pretty...
Going past the 2T. By the time he gets there, the market's going to be done.
Yeah, exactly. So, little mini mistakes, but both up to the feudal age now. Loom coming in for Noodle as well. Fair enough, why not?
She's not going to have the gold to cook up now.
No, but a little bit unfortunate. Maybe she'll do a bit of market magic, sell a bit of stone. Maybe we never really know with Noodle. I don't know what the hell she's up to.
A little bit, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the idea.
So Rylo, almost there we go. He's up. Okay, so Rylo's up to the castle age now, and he's gone up on 29 population. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not going to get the perfect 15 minutes 40, but that's totally okay. And Noodle also up to castle, and here we go. Rylo moving out to stone. His castle, which he's imminently going to be placing down, defensive or offensive? What do you reckon?
I could see
justification in both
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, if I was playing this matchup, I would definitely do it at home.
Yeah.
Simply because the Goth player could go for scouts. Or something like that. Like, because he might decide, okay, I want to get those relics, I'm going to make 2 or 3 scouts. And then if you go forwards and there's some scouts there, and then your villagers are dead.
And then you're pretty far behind right from the word go. Although Rylo is keeping his scout active, so I'd like to think that he's at least got some sort of an idea as to whether or not Noodle is going to be going for scouts, and doesn't look like. Well, I mean, we know she's not.
Inside the walls.
No, you're right. He can't. She could have built it further back and then gone for the surprise scouts, the old double S. Always a strong strategy. But personally, I'd want to put it forward. I'd want to put it really aggressive, but I'm an aggressive player, and I'd be thinking, you know, the Goths, they're going to counter the Mayans pretty bloody hard in the late game, so I'd want to try and finish this game as early as I could.
If you could see where Noodle's stone is, like that was like 2 or 3 tiles closer to the edge of the map, like very closer to the walls, well then that could definitely be an option.
Yeah, of course.
But because he can't see where any of her resources are, The castle's only really going to be used for breaking in, and you'd want to make petards anyway.
Yeah, of course. And
So-
Noodle's going to be chasing. Oh, Noodle's going to be picking off that that cheeky beaky Eagle Warrior there, and Rylo throwing up a monastery back at home. Going to be looking to grab some of those relics. Noodle throwing up a castle. I'm pretty sure I saw on the spectate overlay. I was like,
that
no,
is a
there we go.
castle.
Yep, it is a castle, defensive castle. Going to be sacrificed. Oh, I was going to say she's going to sacrifice town centers, but no, she's still got the resources to chuck one of those bad boys up. And has she thrown it down? She has, in between her 2 golds. So she's going to be
a
up on 2
monastery
TCs.
as well.
And a monastery. Noodle. Oh my goodness! Strong
The
play.
plays.
Strong play from the Australian counterpart here from Rylo. But the monastery already up for Rylo. Has he chucked out a monk? Yep, he's got the monk coming out now. He's going to be able to gobble up at least 1 relic.
Well, he's guaranteed definitely that one.
Yeah.
I would say he's going to get at least 3.
Yep. Well, definitely at least 2, because he's got 1 inside his walls and the one down toward the south of his base.
That other south one is definitely going to end up there.
I think it's going to be there too, because his monastery's up just a little bit quicker than Noodle's, and Noodle getting the monk out now. Castle's up, so she's going to be nice and safe, at least at the front of her base. And now moving those villages off stone, very, very good idea. Because you don't actually need any more than 1 castle as the Goths, obviously. Once you get all those upgrades, your Huskarls can start being pumped out of your barracks, which is a great, great advantage of being the Goth player as well.
Yes, it is. The spam is well renowned.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rylo coming forward with some villages as well at the front of his base, and I can only imagine that they're going to be building what I can hope would be a defensive castle, seeing as though he does have the resource, and there we go. Defensive castle coming up on the front. Nice position to lock down that gold.
Yes, that's very good, especially since the Goths don't really have any good range units.
No, exactly.
So it doesn't need to be super far forward, because there's nothing that can really attack over the walls.
No, exactly. You're totally right.
And I hate to do it, but I have to correct myself. I don't think Rylo's going to get any more relics, because he can't actually see where the last 2 relics are.
Ah, okay, and now he definitely won't be able to, because his Eagle Scout died.
Got one of them. Yep, Noodle has 1, and her Scout is sitting next to the other one.
Nice, super strong play from Noodle. She's playing this really well at the moment. She's going really well, especially since this is giving her a time to boom, which we all, well, not all know, but everyone in the chat can take our word for it. She loves to boom, and she's a very, very strong late game player. So if she can get a boom up and get her economy rolling, especially with the Goths, where it's just so easy to spam the crap out of those infantry units, she's going to be in a really, really nice position.
You need a very strong, well-boomed up economy to do that.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Definitely leans towards her skill set.
Absolutely, especially I got to keep coming back to the civs as well. I still feel like Goths have a definitive advantage in late game. But here we go.
They do. But once you get to a very large mass of elite bloomed archers, it can be quite difficult to push, especially if you get them into a nice little walled off area with fortified walls.
Yep.
Then the Goths kind of just have to go around them, really, because there's 60 bloomed archers sitting in one spot.
Pretty difficult.
They're gonna one-shot Huskarls, basically.
Yeah, although I'd love to see that happen and then just have huge Onager shots and flatten the plumes.
That is the goal. And Noodle's trying to get the relic in the gate, but the monk couldn't pick it up.
Can't get it. Oh, poor monk. He can't show us all how strong he is by picking up the huge relic and carrying it back at 83 years of age. We can see some plumed archers now moving around the left-hand side from Rylo. Don't really know what he's up to, but they're going in concert with the monk. Maybe he was looking to grab a relic that was out there. I can't remember if there was a relic out there at all. Maybe there was.
There was, but he didn't know it was there.
No, okay. He's going to run into a wolf.
He's just walking around trying to find it.
So now he's going to run into a wolf as well. And I can only imagine that Octagonal's going to help us out with some T90 woos in the chat. Oh no, the wolf. Oh, he's trying. But it's sad when that's the most exciting thing that's actually happening. In the game, yeah. It's just a boom fest, really, isn't it?
That's the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I guess we can mention the fact that Rylo is now 10 villages ahead.
We could mention that, absolutely.
And he's also 2 extra military.
Yeah, he is. And his score's starting to pull ahead a little bit as well. Obviously, he's on 3 town centres, and Noodle's still on 2. Third one coming up at the back, though.
Just building 3rd.
Yep, no, absolutely.
I don't like that 3rd town centre position.
I don't like it either.
We've said that she doesn't need lots of stone. Like, a second castle is, kind of useful, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah, it's more or less superfluous, really, to her needs.
Yeah, it'd be better for the TC to be on a woodline where you can make farms. Honestly, almost TCing those berries, I know berries aren't very fast.
Yeah, but it's free, right?
It's free food.
Yeah, of course. It'd be kind of silly not to use it. Maybe
Arena
Rylo
is really the only map, other than nomads.
Yep.
Where I would TC
Consider.
berries.
Yeah, of course. So we've got Rylo up on 2 TCs. What's that? Up wheelbarrow coming in now. Scale mail armor coming in for Noodle. Interesting decision to go for scale mail armor now. How's her eco actually looking if we zoom over to her? Wow, she's actually going pretty strong. Obviously, with one less town center every 30 or 25 seconds, however long it takes a villager to be created, 50 less food is being spent for Noodle, so she'll be able to get up to the Imperial Age just a little bit quicker than her counterpart.
If
But,
you look at her resources, she's
getting pretty bloody close. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe the scale mail armor, not inadvertent at the moment, but I would have preferred to have waited a little bit. But you know, there are some plumed archers buzzing around outside the base, so in hindsight, probably not the dumbest
right
idea.
Now, she could cancel all the queued up villagers she has and got him.
She could, especially since she was housed for a little bit. That's what I'd do if I'm housed. Oh well, let's just get rid of it all. That'd be totally fine. Yeah, no, she's playing super strong.
On the other hand, Rylo could easily buy his way up to him.
Yeah.
He could sell some stone and then just buy the 800 food he needs.
Yeah, his eco's a little bit unbalanced. Obviously, the Mayans don't have too much of a need of food once you do get into the Imperial Age. If they're going to go down the plumes route, that is. And as he's throwing up a second castle out here toward the western flank of his base, it almost looks like he is going to be going down that plume route, especially since he's already got plumes out. So makes a lot of sense as well.
Definitely. And even Eagle Warriors, like, they don't do that well versus Huskarls.
No, they don't.
Like, once you're in Imperial Age, the Goth Huskarls like you can create so quickly and they're so damn cheap.
They really are. It's crazy.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, so Noodle up to the Imperial Age now. Rylo not too far behind her either, but a good number of villages ahead. So in terms of that, Noodle has, a little bit behind in economy, which is going to be quite difficult, as I think you've mentioned earlier. Actually, it's quite a substantially large economy to be able to keep the Goth infantry spam running, and with the amount of farms and food income that she has, not so sure.
Noodle's researching man-at-arms.
Man-at-arms? Ooh, oh.
Does she think this is a Goth mirror?
I don't know, to be completely honest with you.
Goth mirror, well then yeah, it's no-brainer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
she's also doing anarchy, so
she's gonna go for both?
She knows she wants to make Huskarls.
Yeah. Maybe she's just anticipating some eagles coming from her opponent, but what's her scouting like? Does she know the castle's there? She doesn't know the castle's there. Has she seen the plumed archers or anything? Oh, we can see petards. We can see petards.
Well, once these petards hit, she should delete the gate and get that rally.
Yeah, screw it, they're already in.
She doesn't need the gate anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now she knows the plumed archers are coming in. So that's all well and good for her.
This is going to be a problem, though, because all the Huskarls are on the edge of the map.
Yeah, exactly, but she'll bring them back.
Making anything at home, really. She's making a couple of Huskarls, but
yeah,
there's enough plumed archers that they could run around, pick off some villages,
and really damage her. Yeah, and damage her already somewhat fragile economy. Noodle into the Imperial Age now. Let's see what upgrades actually do come in for her, if any at all. We've got ballistics and padded archer armor being researched for our man from New Zealand, Rylo rather, and chain mail armor and longsword. Longsword, she's still going for longswords.
Yeah,
that's...
and she's only got 2 barracks, and she's not even making Huskarls out of them.
That's really interesting. I mean, she can click on these plumed archers and she can see, hey, he's going plumed archers. They're going to quite conclusively counter any sort of champion line that I really want to go for. I don't understand. Maybe she's still preparing for that late game when you've got maybe when the plumed the elite eagle warriors are going to come out. But I'm still not sure.
Elite Huskarls still trade well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. I prefer...
Especially before they get Eldorado, it's basically a dead even fight.
Yeah.
But then the Huskarls are so much cheaper.
And so much easier to spam, of course. I mean, I suppose it's not too bad. Goth's infantry is just so bloody cheap.
Chemistry, is she...
Going down hand cannons?
Hand cannons and longswords?
That's a perfect counter to another Goth player, to be honest.
Yeah,
but not so much against
doing longswords as well.
Okay, well that makes sense.
They don't get champions though.
No, they don't get champions. The Aztecs get champions.
Okay, now this might actually turn out to be so anti-meta that they've countered each other.
Yeah, this is...
Noodle's gone longswords to counter the Mayan two-handed swords. Like, it makes
weird
perfect sense in this crazy word.
This is absolutely crazy. I don't really know. They're both up to the Imperial Age now, and like you said, we've got Chemistry and Two-Handed Swords coming in for Noodle. Squires, Two-Man Sword coming in for Rylo. He's chucking up a lot of barracks, so he's obviously looking for some sort of a counter to the Huskarls that he's seen already, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the food eco for it.
No,
he
he
was
really
all set
doesn't.
to do plumed archers.
Which
He's got a
means,
shit
yeah.
ton of gold and stone.
Yeah.
No food.
No, exactly. It's well, I mean, it's not going to be too hard for the Mayan player to switch his focus over and get more food, to get more farms up. Also, yeah, seed some more farms. But I don't know, man. This is just so weird. This is so strange. I mean, Noodle's moving out with the little contingency of Huskarls. Still no elite yet, but
And she hasn't made any 200 swordsmen even though she's researched the tech.
yeah, she hasn't. She's also not doing anything from her siege workshops.
All the attack upgrades. Oh, she has some bombard cannons coming out of the
She
right
does have
hand
bombard?
workshop.
She does now. Yeah, very good. Of course,
I
chemistry.
think maybe she's forgotten to turn on multi-queue.
So
she wanted to make one on each. And
I have no idea. Genuinely no idea. Octagonal saying that she needs towers to counter the plumes. I think he's right. I really think that the 10 PS armor Huskarls, once she gets all the upgrades, are definitely not good enough to counter plumed archers.
Those feudal age watchtowers.
Yeah, man, super strong. Absolutely devastating. At the moment, Rylo with the score lead and the villager lead. Not the military lead though, but that's totally fine. We've got a bombard cannon coming out now. Noodle looking to punch a hole through these walls and start flooding with the small contingency, I guess, of Huskarls that she has. Champion being upgraded for Noodle with Elite Eagle Warrior going in for Rylo. This is getting interesting. Very, very interesting. Two-handed swords also coming in for Rylo now as well. Two-handed swords going to do fairly decent against the Huskarls, but the champion's coming out from Noodle going to be able to quite conclusively counter the Elite Eagles coming out from Rylo, and also deal pretty decent damage against the two-handed swords as well from Rylo. So it's a strange infantry battle coming in here. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
What you expect. Like, he's got two castles, like even just basic plumed archers would be useful to add in.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, his two-handed swordsman could go about taking down the Huskarls more or less, and the plumed archers could just absolutely shred through the champions here from Noodle.
Exactly, because they're missing the last armor upgrade, so they only get 3 pierce armor, and now he's switching back into plumed archers.
Yeah, he's researching the elite plumed archer, and he does he have any stone to get up another castle? He's got a lot of stone.
He can do 3 castles.
He can do a couple of castles, yeah, absolutely. So that would be a really nice option for him, and he needs to start pushing out too, because these bombard cannons from Noodle are just going to start ever so slowly whittling away at his military production buildings at all.
Problem is that Noodle has quite a lot of army just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, not actually getting in the fight there.
Yeah, the gather point
like,
maybe is not set.
She's just barely winning these fights, but if she had that 20 other champions just sitting in the middle of the map,
it would be so much more conclusive for her. No, you're
yeah,
absolutely right.
So far ahead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Noodle is still going to be in a pretty demanding position here, though. I feel like the Goths are just going to be able to overwhelm the Mayans in this position.
Oh, most certainly. Like, as long as she doesn't make a stupid mistake, like leave them on no attack stance or
something silly
or
like that, yeah.
champions underneath the castle or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be absolutely fine.
Mayans do not get heavy scorpions from my memory, do they?
They do.
Oh, they do? Well, heavy scorps could be bloody good here.
But they do miss siege engineers, so they're
okay.
7 range.
Yeah. Heavy scorps still would be fun to see. I love heavy scorps. Very fun unit. That'd pack a decent punch against the champions as well. But Rylo, for now, he's hanging on. He's got a third castle coming up now up at the back of his base. He's got a crap ton of plumed archers queued up in at least 2 of his castles. And Noodle's starting to push in now as well with their Huskarls and champions and bombard cannon mix. But again, still the gather point is not quite set correctly for her, with her Huskarls still being queued in the middle of the map. I would really...
But she's not really using her resources efficiently. Like, she's got 1,200 food, 2k gold.
That's a lot of food and gold you could spend on champions or husks.
Well, if you could make 20 Huskarls, run them in and just completely gut Rylo's economy.
Yeah, although in saying that, Elite Huskarl now coming in, so that's taking a good chunk of her food eco down.
That is definitely a good use for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I'd love to see her just run some Huskarls into the back of Rylo's base here and just start really pressuring his economy.
the problem here is that Rylo's starting to get a massive plumed archers. And
Yeah.
because they have an attack bonus versus infantry, they always do at least 2 damage.
Yep.
Even the Huskars, they're massive fierce armor.
Yeah, exactly. Which is quite nice. Now on the left hand side, I missed this, but he did put up another castle as well. So he's up on a total of 4 castles, which is going to be quite a nice amount of production for him. Noodle putting up another castle as well, in the weak corner there. Oh,
yeah, Noodle needs more farms though at home. She's got 2k wood.
And
make more farms and just keep spam.
This is where the Goths are just meant to overwhelm. Just a hell of a lot of infantry. And someone in the chat, I'm not going to try and say his name, but he said Viper said the only chance Mayans have in this matchup is to mass enough heavy scorpions. And I like where Viper's coming from. He must be a good player because everyone loves to see heavy scorps. I feel like heavy scorps in here would be fun. Just to see, really, not even if it does help Rylo provide Rylo with a bit of a way back into this. But like you said, there's a crap ton of plumed archers coming out, and the good thing about the Mayans as well, they are still a cheap civilization when it comes to their unit production, at least in terms of plumed archers and the food cost of the elite eagles.
On the left hand side, Rylo is sending some villagers forward for
sneaky beaky barracks. And Noodle is definitely going to be way too preoccupied to notice this.
But I'm not sure what he's going to do though, because Noodle, she plugged the hole in her wall
with a barracks. Yeah, no, you're completely right. So maybe he's going to get a cheeky couple of petards out from one of his castles and bust through.
It looks like he's actually going for the house Noodle strategy.
Yeah, once again, he was doing this quite
Noodle, no, don't hold the gate open.
Oh, they're in. Oh hell. Elite plumed archers are in. This is going to be really bad for economy.
That's really not good.
No, it's really not. They're just going to run by the castle. They're quick as well, the wee plumed archers. The sneaky buggers. Very quick. And Rylo might actually be in a good position if he gets enough eco rating in.
All he needs to do is just deny farms for 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be able to clear up the army in his base.
And then he's going to be in a good spot to push out.
And then he'll have such a large army that he can just continue to slowly push Noodle back.
Yeah, exactly. But he's got some rams slowly making their way forward. Maybe that's what he's going to use to punch the hole in the wall. But Rylo in the back of Noodle's economy, and Noodle has not noticed yet. This is a massacre of villages at the back of her base. 105 villages and dropping. Although to be fair, cheapness of the Goths doesn't really mean, but
Goths, they still want lots of villages.
Yeah, you still can't replenish. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And like on the other hand, Noodle's trying to raid his champions by killing a TC.
Yeah, I mean, they do get a bonus attack against buildings, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, and a couple of couple of trebs coming out now to deal to the castle inside of Rylo's base from Noodle. Noodle's finally realised that she's being raided by the plumed archers at the back of her base, bringing some Huskars back to try and deal with that.
She lost 40 pop.
That's a lot of population to have lost. Now she's going to have to try and reboom her way back and get more population. I did see that Rylo is building another castle somewhere, and I cannot actually. There it is, cheeky wee castle just outside of Noodle's gate. So that's going to be really nice for him to increase his plumed archer production as well.
I hate to call it, but I think
it's looking real strong for Rylo.
Because Noodle's house now 145 out of 135.
Yeah, see, man, the housing.
They're doing it.
The housing strat, man. What I really want to see is Rylo. Oh, okay, good. He's doing it. He's sending a mining camp, at least some villagers, out to that gold pile to the south of his base. He's going to see that. Can't take that. Noodle's taking some of my gold, and he's going to send some eagles down there right now, and he's going to be able to clean that funky business up straight away as well. So it's going to put him in a really nice spot in terms of his gold income.
Yes, and the amount of resources he has in the bank, he can afford to sell blue archers.
Yeah, exactly. Although he's sitting on 5 gold at the moment. What the hell is he researching? Or did he just queue up a crap ton of stuff?
He's just spent it all, I think.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah, all of his buildings are idle.
Yeah, what the hell did he spend it on?
He could sell that 2,000 stone, no problem. Like,
yeah, absolutely. He's got 5 castles. He's going to have more than enough to be able to start pumping out, or to continue to pump out those plumed archers. Champions from Noodle now coming over to clean up this funny business on the gold mine that she's just lost. But all Rylo has to do, hey, bring some plumed archers over, mate, and those champions are just going to melt.
And then the other nice thing is the Eagle Warriors are so much faster than the champions.
Yeah, so they can just run. Yeah, of course.
Kill some builds and then
run the hell away. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Rylo also throwing up a monastery again so he can grab those 2 relics back. Clearly preparing for that late game that this is maybe not going to reach, but you know, it might do. And Siege Ram and Iron Casting coming in for Rylo as well now. Siege Ram's just going to be so efficient, so effective at punching even further holes and damaging into Noodle's economy here. I think Pyro is going to be getting very excited with the siege rams in the chat. I'm expecting to see a little bit of hype from him. But Noodle's hanging on. I mean, she's hanging on in there, but at the same time, Rylo is just pushing forward. He's gaining more momentum with each passing moment, using the trebs.
And on the front line, she's just lost 30 champions. They
Yeah.
killed 1.5 trebs.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Not really a worthwhile trade, especially since she did lose two trebuchets in her own base to the siege rams from Rylo as well in an attempt to take down his forward castle.
This feels like the makings of a Titanic.
It almost does. I mean, Noodle, she had the Civ advantage in my opinion, but she just didn't really execute what she needed to. Again, she's got another treb out, so she's still trying to take down this forward castle. But Rylo sitting on that amount of stone that it really doesn't matter if he loses this castle, which he's going to with these two bombard cannon shots.
Oh, and the eagle raid.
And this is devastating. Like you were saying before, the speed of the Eagle Warriors, once they get into your economy, they're like breadcrumbs in your bed. Just so fucking hard to get out and so annoying at the same time.
Oh, and Noodle has actually forgotten all. If you check the 4 barracks on the right hand side.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Huskarls are in a single barracks, and they're all just coming out and dying one by one to those dodges.
That's really detrimental for her. Not so nice, especially if Rylo does manage to continue to push down here, take out those Huskarls and really just whittle through those villages. That's going to be her gold income shot to hell completely. And now that her food eco is getting quite heavily raided by eagles, to be fair, being cleaned up by the champions of Rylo, she's not going to be in a good position the longer this game goes. Lots of houses being thrown up. Is she still housed? No, she's not housed. She's nowhere near housed. I don't know what she's doing. Her villager count is quite substantially lower than Rylo's as well. And she was researching Halberdier, but has cancelled it now. And I believe that would have been a misclick because Halberdier not really going to be doing too much against elite plumed archers.
Would she really make the mistake twice in a row to do pikemen and then do...
Oh, you're right. Okay, maybe not. Maybe... fuck, I got nothing.
She's planning for the no gold situation?
Potentially, but it's not really going to work out when Rylo's being so cost effective with his units, and his gold units would just chew through those helps. No, she's actually done Halberdier. Okay, I stand completely and utterly corrected.
And she's even making a couple, like... She's not short on gold, she's got 1k gold.
Yeah, she's sitting on... Again, she's sitting on quite a decent amount of resources to be able to spam... some more infantry units here. And Rylo's more or less run out of momentum for the time being. He's researching leather archer armor now, very good idea. Obviously trying to buff up these plumed archers of his, but he seems to have run out of momentum for the time being. Maybe he should just fall back and try and regroup and go for another push. I'm not really sure, but slowly moving forward with 2 trebs, getting those upgrades.
Definitely pulling back and getting a big mass of plumes and eagles and going in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just gutting our economy.
Yeah, of course. If he just continues the raids and just cripples her food economy, then he's going to be in a really nice position because obviously the food is so important for the Goths.
And something else to point out is I don't believe that Rylo has built an archery range.
No, that's something that's actually been pointed out quite a pointed out quite a few times in arena games where the mines have been picked. Thumb Ring has not actually been researched. I don't think in any of the games that I've casted where there's been a mine player. People obviously always forgetting to get the barracks and then the subsequent archery range for that upgrade.
I will guiltily put my hand up and say that I always forget Thumb Ring.
Yep, I genuinely do as well. And yes, in the chat, that was very late on leather archer armor there, but it's been done, so that's totally fine. Better late than never, I guess. But yeah, no thumb ring. Very well pointed out. No thumb ring has been researched yet for Rylo, which again, it could definitely help in the situations where he's trying to take down the all-powerful high PS armor Huskarls. Doing that extra bit of rate of fire never hurts in those sorts of situations. Now Noodle's actually getting a decent mass of champions. She's getting a decent mass of Huskarls here as well. And the plumed archers getting caught out in the open for Rylo at the front of her base. And these are going to get cleaned up pretty quickly and pretty easily as well. She brings her army over. Obviously a little bit of micro maybe needed from Rylo there. But sacrificing those plumed archers for the greater good. Whatever the greater good might be. How do Huskarls do against eagles? I'm honestly not sure. Robo seems to think that they do... that they're pretty evenly matched, but the Huskarls...
In terms of cost effectiveness,
Mhm.
then they're pretty much even. Like,
Yep.
obviously, Eagles are going to win 1v1 because like their stats are so much better.
Yep.
But especially like early imp, before you're able to afford to do Eldorado,
Yeah.
Huskarls just completely kill mine. Like you do lead Huskarl immediately, and you send 40 Huskarls in. And
It's just too hard, yeah, exactly. So now Rylo's done the right thing. He's pulled back a little bit on the right-hand side, but at the same time, Noodle is starting to push forward, throwing up another siege workshop just outside the northern corner of her base, and she's got all of her army congregated out there. But Rylo at least has some sort of a defensive stature out the front of his base on that side as well. So Rylo at the moment spreading his forces across the map, and he's pushing it on one side while still being able to hold on the other. And Noodle is offering no resistance.
He needs all of his blue archers together.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight off lots and lots of Huskarls. And
Mhm.
really, he should just sit on this right hand side until all that gold's been mined out.
Yep.
Like, triple layer fortify all his base, and just sit there and mine all the gold, and make sure that you've taken all the markers.
Yeah, exactly. I can see why he might be feeling pretty confident in this situation though, because Noodle has just brought pretty much her whole army across the right-hand side, and while he's managing to hold there, he's moving forward with his army on the left. Couple of siege rams, couple of trebs, and a decent, a handful of these plumed archers and two-handed swordsmen, going to be able to start punching a hole, hopefully into her economy. Not that he really needs to, because there is already a gaping hole in her walls. Oh, but has she overchopped on her wood line? No, she has not overchopped her wood line just yet. But here comes the help span that everyone's getting really hyped about in the chat as well. And this is...
Yeah, she can spam help.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Forever if she makes some more builds. But
yeah.
Plumed archers versus helps that don't have the last armor upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. And also the two-handed swordsmen, they're going to chew through that trash like nobody's business.
Like, the plumed archers do like 10 damage a shot. About,
yeah.
10 damage a shot, so...
Yeah, it's just melting, absolutely melting. And Rylo's conclusively cleaned up Noodle's army on the right-hand side as well, and now he's going to start tubing his way into her base.
And that's even before mentioning the two-handed swordsmen and the eagles that are running around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, every single unit that Rylo's making perfectly counters trash.
Yeah, exactly. Noodle, I mean, I can see where she's coming from with the trash. She is running pretty low on gold. I don't think she has actually any access to gold at this point in time. Rylo's done the right thing in taking complete and utter map control. I think there's only that one gold pile that he's taking toward the south of his map, or the south of his base rather, which is left.
Noodle still got a little bit of stone in her base that she should be mining and selling. She's got what, 1,400, bit more, about 1,600 stone.
Yeah, there you go. She sold something. Sold some food and wood.
It's selling 14 gold at the moment.
Not that nice at all. And
stone, she could sell it for 91.
And ring archer armor now coming in for Rylo as well. He's been neglecting those wee upgrades, but that's totally fine. Anyway, we can see now. Also the relics. I mean, Noodle's got 2 relics, so that's always nice for her as well. But Rylo also... Does he have 2? He's only got 2, right? Because he can't get that third one because it's trapped.
The third one's still in the gate.
Yeah, exactly. So the relic advantage is...
Noodle should have grabbed those relics while she was pushing in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, the holes are already in the walls and she plugged them up in other ways. There's always other ways that she'd be able to plug them. We can see Onager coming in here for Noodle, and this could be fun. I don't know if it's going to be enough to change the game around, especially since Eagle Warriors are buzzing around on the map. All this raiding. Oh my god, the raiding and
the left-hand side, I'm really hoping that she makes... Yes, there's the mangonel.
Yeah.
No, she cancelled it.
Oh, does she? I wanted to see huge shots.
The rear siege workshop, I guess.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Behind the wall.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. I want to see a huge shot, but at the same time, it's looking really dicey and almost definitively over here as Rylo pushes in.
Military count, it's 150.
To 3, to 4, 5.
5
4.
now, yeah, see.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Well and truly over.
Yep, absolutely. Noodle.
Josh, she fought a mangonel in one of her onagers, but she's lost the onager tech because that siege workshop was destroyed.
Yeah, and she's called GG now as well. So there it is. There it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
That was crazy.
Goodness gracious me. That was fun. That was a fun game to see though. Yeah, Octagonal saying the same thing. Why did she not delete the gate and grab the relic? I guess she just had bigger things, bigger fish to fry, bigger things on her mind. The castle getting taken down toward the end there as well, and the heavy raids from Rylo's Eagle Warriors and plumed archers on the eastern flank of her base. Just a little bit too strong for her to take back, but well played Rylo, well played Noodle. Very, very fantastic set of games. Really, really fun to watch and very, very fun to cast as well.
Yes, especially the last 2 games. Very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely. But there we have it. Rylo taking the game, taking this best of 5 series for Group 4 in the first round. Very well played to both players. Awesome.